finally, you are going to see heart and soul and beauty and craftsmanship and hope and in these solid silver pieces. This, I'm going to give you 4 textures. I also want to let you know off the top, we have 4 sizes now. Extra small is something you've been requested. We've done it for the very first time. Please do not wait on any of these choices in the extra small. This is your floral texture. Is this not absolutely stunning? You guys have been all over this since it was first made available. I want to let you know each one of them has a kickstand. We're going to talk about the ins and the outs and the inspiration between each. The next choice that you have is this signature rope. Look at how beautiful this is. This is the first time that Scott has brought in this rope texture. He is known for the rope. You have his 5.3 millimeter rope probably in your collection already. This is going to complement in the hard kind of a statement bangle or cuff bracelet for you. Next up, we have, I'm going to bring in this one right here. This is the Kalahari. This is my favorite one. This is the one that I'm going to pick up. I love this for the texture. I love for the beading work. Look at the side profile there. Underneath, beautifully finished off. Next up and final choice right here, another very popular, and this is something integral to the brand, is the basket weave texture. Look at that, and it's not just on the top. None of these textures stop at the top. They don't stop at the side. They continue around the end caps. They go inside. Gorgeous. Sizing. Double extra small for the very first time. And guess where a gram weight starts at? 24 grams going to 31 grams. Let me show you a little size chart here, and so you can get your size. So extra small means a fit of about a 6 1/4 inch. Small, 6 3/4 of an inch. Your average, if you have a 7 1/4 of an inch, and then large is 8 inch. This is J361801. $149.95 is your price today. Amazing price for a solid silver cuff based bracelet. 5 easy pay of $29.99. And we're going to take you on a trip. Can we not go on a trip? Let's go. By the way, our testimonial lines are open. We would love to hear from you. Call us and tell us about which one you're picking up. Did you pick up multiples? I know many of you are picking up more than one of these cuffs to do stacking with some of your soft link bracelets. But again, that item number is J361801. If you're an extra small like I am, do not wait on any of these textures. All right, I want to introduce you to the creative director of Jay and a good friend of mine. As I mentioned at the top, he worked hand in hand with the head designer at John Hardy for 7 years. He's been here at QVC with Jay for 6 years, bringing us beautiful pieces. We know collectors. He's very connected to all of you. But if you're new to the brand, we want you to come in to experience the wonder of Jay. Scott, these pieces are so incredibly beautiful. I have to start really at the top.
Yes.
Where are you going to take us to a trip, and why are we going to do that today?
So having it today's special value is a really, as you know, is a really, really big deal. So those of you who knew in my world of couture, when I would do personal appearances, I always wanted to surprise and delight you. And quite often we would recreate the inspiration, and at the end I would always invite you to come meet me at our head compound in Bali. Since I'm not able to invite you all there, what I wanted to do was recreate this feeling of Thailand where our artisan workshops are. And what I've been able to do, and to give you an idea of how special this is, for the first time ever, we actually brought Jesse, who's our master artisan, here. And while we are speaking to the pieces, I want to show you how they are handcrafted, just to give you an idea of why you might think I'm crazy and so passionate about it, is the simple fact of how the workmanship that goes into it, the level of detail. So here you go, you'll see Jessie here, and she's actually carving the floral cuff right now out of wax. So to give you an idea, first it starts as a sketch, a hand-rendered sketch to make the floral cuff.
Can I touch this?
Oh, by all means.
I like it. Is that okay?
If
I don't
you
want
break
to.
it, you bought it, okay?
I bought it. Okay, it's okay. So a sketch kind of like this.
Yeah. So that's
okay.
the basket weave sketch. So that'll be the first step of the process.
Okay.
A beautiful rendered sketch. From there,
okay.
Normally in the world of designer jewelry, it would go straight to a computer animation. And then it would go to a machine to make it. What we do is, Jesse's carving there, and I apologize, Jesse. Here you're going to see how the wax starts. So think about that.
Are you doing the rope right now? Is that what you're doing?
She's doing the floral.
Oh, floral. Okay.
So it starts as a flat, one-dimensional, flat sketch. Then she recreates it just by hand, eye, and heart into a wax carving using her own carving tools.
Wow, look at
So
that.
just the beauty to get that perfect petals of the floral. As an idea, a machine is not going to give you the depth of that floral. Then the hand-applied oxidation, but that is why when you feel it, it feels alive to you. And from here, it's a total of 8 steps to make every single piece. So to have a master artisan, I can't bring you to our artisan workshop because I don't have enough money to fly everyone over there. So when I met with QVC, I go, I have an idea. I'd love to bring them a cuff, which we're known for and our heritage is known for, but bring that to them in the most amazing, best-selling textures. It's been forever since cuffs have been TSVs here. And because normally you don't hinge it because that's another step.
Okay.
Normally you offer one and that's it. So I go to my team, you guys, let's have fun.
Hey.
Let's do 4 different textures. Let's give our best-selling textures. And they go, Scott, you realize what Jessie is doing here? That means to create all of those, this wax carving has to be done multiple times.
Okay, but how long does it take to carve one of those
So if it was me and you,
Yeah.
the rest of our life.
Okay.
But when we talk about, so Jessie comes from a long line of artisans. Her parents actually are master silk dye.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we could study as much as we want.
And never have it.
And originally for schooling, she had studied architecture, but part of her passion was sketching her own and recreating her own works of art. She fell in love with making the jewelry. So I said, I have a quick question for you, Jessie. What are you thinking about when you are doing this? I mean, like for me...
She's not mic'd, which is why we're not talking to her.
Yes.
She's not answering. I just
Jesse's
want you to know we're
I'm not
not
talking to you.
ignoring her, which I know she's like, oh, we're down there. Sorry about that. Sorry, continue.
No, but it was, so she's like, when I'm doing the initial sketches, I'm thinking, is this what my mom would like? Is this how I would wear it? Is the line soft enough? How can I make it better? I go, so how do you do the wax carving, to your point? She's a master. It could take 2 to 3 weeks to do one. The average artist, and it could take 2 to 3 months to get it right, because once you go too deep, you start over.
Okay, so question about the mold,
Yes.
right? So that she's doing now. Is it she just has to do that one time for the entire run?
No, so you're going to constantly remember as you do that mold, we're going to hand cast the pieces. As that is done, it can only be used a certain amount of times. Because then that mold starts to give. So then the edges won't be as clean, the lines won't be as fine, so we have to go again and recreate the mold. Which is why my team said, Scott, do me a favor, never, ever, ever suggest doing a cuff in multiple textures. And think about it, we've never done an extra small, but you keep asking for it.
It's done.
So to do it in an extra small, so that's why I say, why say no when it's so much easier to say yes?
That's right.
So, and I absolutely love, and this is going to be the answer. So many of you have come in, you already knew from the beginning, I'm the Kalahari gal.
And who is the Kalahari gal?
So the Kalahari gal, that was 2 weeks in Botswana. That is someone who loves the symbolism of that wanderlust. It loves that symbol. The Kalahari is basically an ode that we are all connected. The Kalahari Bushman has one of the oldest recorded DNAs in the world. So as I was there for 2 weeks and we were trekking across the land, I'm crazy, so I'm like, well, technically, then you're my cousin. I mean, think about it. We are all related. So from there, I wanted to give you the beauty of the Kalahari and the connection. So you have the high polished silver dots through there, the hand applied oxidation, and then you have the basket weave along the inside.
Here, I can show you that. Let's show that a little bit better. I'm going to go over to the table because I think we'll see that a little bit better over here.
I love how you put them all together. You are rocking it, my friend.
Awesome. Okay, so that is the let me show you on this side because I can do that. There we go. I wear the extra
There's
small
your Kalahari
there. It
there.
is. So you can really see all of that beautiful texture. What's on the underbelly of that?
That's the basket weave, which you see right there now. So since both of those were born in Botswana, I brought elements into both of them. And it really is, to your point, that is solid sterling silver. So think about, as Jessie was carving in wax, that's all silver that is there. But we have to do 2 carvings because we do a hinge. Most brands, how many times do you do a squeeze and you're like, oh my God, it never fits, it falls off. That's why I like bangles, but then I can never get the bangle on right. By doing a hinged cuff with a beautiful oval, fits every time.
Okay, tell me about the inspiration behind the floral.
Oh, this is okay. This is one of my, well, first off, if you love flowers, it's perfect.
How close can you get in for me? I'm gonna get really close in there.
But this was in 2015. I did 2 weeks going through the Golden Triangle of India. I flew into New Delhi, I experienced Jaipur, and I ended up in Agra, which is the home of the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal is a mausoleum that was built out of marble by the Shah centuries ago for his beloved wife. They say it's known as a teardrop on the cheek of time because his heart was broken. What you may not know is when you go into that marble, 20,000 artisans were brought in for over a decade to create it. But all inside the marble is inlaid the most beautiful florals out of lapis, out of malachite, out of carnelian, mother of pearl. He wanted to make flowers for her mausoleum that she would have forever. I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
So for there, I wanted to turn around and here's flowers that you will have forever.
In the basket weave, we've already sold out of the extra small. If you want the Kulahara, which is this one we talked about first, the extra small is very limited. This is the one that I'm going to be getting an extra small. I just love it. And I got to tell you, starting at 24 grams in the extra small, going up to 31 grams in the large, you're going to feel the weight of the silver, but you're going to see the presence and the beauty of this piece. Talk to me about this one. What is this one?
So basket weave. For my fashion gals or my friends who just enjoy classic clean lines and silhouettes, I think this is quintessentially done very, very well since we launched it 2 years ago in the Botswana collection because it almost has a chevron-like pattern with the beautiful clean angle so you fall head over heels in love. But what it was inspired by was those 2 weeks where we spoke about Kalahari Bushmen. I also went down one of the rivers. I mean, I feel like a jerk. Well, then I did this, and then I did.
But you do it in the love because you want to bring beautiful pieces and inspiration
also,
where people can't go.
May I be honest with you too? No one from corporate watch. It's my bucket list. I'm like, where do I want to go next? So honestly, going down this river bend, and then as we're going through, and the translator, my guide's there, we came across right on a bend that there were all of these women fishing. If you've ever collected Botswana baskets, you know the ones where they hand dye with the florals and make those amazing patterns. They strip down the fronds and they tightly weave it. So I already knew, so I'm watching them. Half of them are on the riverbank weaving their baskets. The other half are fishing with baskets to go fishing. May I tell you the leading cause of death there? Hippos inside that water because they're murky, it's underwater. And who is out there catching the fish for the community?
The women.
The women.
Love it.
So as I sat next to them, I go to the gentleman so is this one family? Are they all sisters? Are they mother? They go, no, these are women that come together from multiple villages from the betterment of a unit. So individuals come for the betterment of the community. So as they started, I'm like, well, what are they talking about? Because again, they speak Xhosa. So it's the clicking nows. I can barely speak English. So I'm like, so what are they speaking to? And she's, well, this one was married to this one's and this, and they're talking about the gossip. I go, oh, it's like at home. Yeah, I mean, they're having coffee and they're talking shop. It literally is just about creating your own tribe. All of that story is just because of the chevron pattern.
Awesome. Now let's go into the one that we're seeing on the screen. I want you to, real quickly, let me tell you, J361801 is your item number. This is the first today special value cuff ever from the J collection. First time we're bringing in an extra small for you. We have two new kind of designs and textures for you in this collection. The rope and the Kalahari. We have the basket weave and floral, which are really integral to the brand. So this again is J361801. 5 easy payments of $29.99, and now we're going to talk about our final one.
So rope
right here
is the newest texture to the J collection. I launched it in February after going through Alaska. Have you ever been to Alaska?
I have not.
May I say you will? May I recommend it to anyone who's out there? And please feel free on my Facebook page. I've got a great guide who was beyond amazing. To that point, while I was there 2 weeks, I had the opportunity to go north of the Arctic Circle.
Wow.
I mean, just right there, hasn't that? I was north of the Arctic Circle.
Well, aren't you
so
fancy?
North of the Arctic Circle is a small Native Alaskan village that you can only get by either boat or by a little puddle jumper. There are no roads connecting it to the rest of Alaska. Alaska is known as the last great frontier. In this Kotzebue, which is the name of the village, it's a sustainable fishing village. So they They're living. Their food is either by gathering from the tundra the berries during, if you will, their summer